feels in love. While Dad was getting used to Mom's subhumanoid lips, problems were developing with the Nuka Mama Corporation's subhumanoid baby program. Everything seemed like a piece of cake, but it was really a mess. It was soon revealed that the subhumanoids were unstable, and after 6 months they began melting down into disgusting gobs of green goo, which were gross, but kind of cute and would make great toys for kids. And adults liked them too. The creator of the subhumanoids was the brilliant but misguided Professor Melvina Holt, and she desperately tried to develop an antidote to the meltdown syndrome. Unfortunately, because of negligence in disposing of the hideously toxic meltdown byproducts, one of the good squirrels of Tromaville mutated into a giant, disgusting, belching, farting, urinating monster squirrel, which began destroying the Tromaville Institute of Technology and its state-of-the-art student-run nuclear power facility. Unfortunately, the mutant monster squirrel annihilated a lot of Tromavillians, including many of the principal actors in Class of Nukem Hyde Part 2. Fortunately, those annihilated included the sadistic gang leader, Yoke. Unfortunately, Yoke's more handsome, but less intellectually brilliant younger sibling, Little Egg White, survived to take over the gang. Fortunately, it turned out Professor Holt did indeed create an antidote to the subhumanoid meltdown syndrome. Unfortunately, the miscreant mutant squirrel thought Professor Holt was his mommy.
I'm not your mother!
Fortunately, my father got the antidote from Professor Holt and was able to give it to my mother. What my parents didn't know was that they weren't the only ones to survive the destruction. Miraculously, Professor Holt crawled through the rubble, back to the subterranean chambers beneath the main nuclear reactor core, where her beloved subhumanoid birthing laboratories would hold whatever remained of her top-secret experiments. Unfortunately, her unethical sellout to corporate greed had subjected her body to low-level symptoms of the meltdown syndrome. Fortunately, at least her beehive hairdo remained intact, since her hairspray contained beeswax from plenty of bees. Unfortunately, they were PCBs, and the incredible heat produced by her meltdown syndrome symptoms resulted in spontaneous combustion.
At least I still have my hair.
Professor Holt and Little Egg White got reacquainted. So did my mom and dad. After Tromaville was leveled and the raging fires were put out, my mother and father did what came naturally. They fucked their brains out, and I was conceived. Meanwhile, the Nuka Mama corporate powers did what came naturally. They conceived a new plan. The sadistic genius, Dr. Slag, Ph.D., was sent to rebuild the Tromaville Institute of Technology and Nuclear Power Plant as a cover for the heinous mission. So while my father's good and true seed was nurtured in my mother's subhumanoid belly, the evil seed of Dr. Slag, Ph.D.'s plan was planted deep beneath Tromaville.
Dr. Slag, Ph.D.? What is he doing here?
Professor Holt? The Nuka Mama Corporation sent me down here to clean up the mess that you made of our plans. Now I must brief all of you about our new mission.
New mission?
That's right, new mission. On behalf of the Nuka Mama Corporation, we must use Professor Holt's subhumanoids to achieve the ultimate and unspeakable wealth and power. Our new research shows that the mating of humans and subhumanoids produces offspring which are much more than just mindless laborers. The chemistry of these babies is also a source of cheap energy. Holt's subhumanoids hold the key.
Dr. Slag, PhD. All the subhumanoids melted down at Class of Nukem High Part 2 and in the beginning of this movie.
All but one Dr. Slag, PhD. They all melted down but one. Victoria lives. I gave her boyfriend Roger Smith the antidote to the meltdown syndrome, so I'm sure that she lives. It is she who holds your precious key, Dr. Slag, PhD.
It's good you still have a sense of humor, Phillips.
Because you're going to need it when we hunt this girl down and watch her and wait for her to become heavy with child. For when that baby comes out of that second set of subhumanoid lips in his mother's belly, that baby will be the ultimate power source, which will further enrich the few of us who hold shares in the Nukamama Corporation. This power source is unlike any other, more powerful than nuclear fission, coal or oil.
You see, Squirrels, the Nukamama Corporation has a plan to rebuild Tromaville and the rest of the world.
We will watch and observe. When she has that baby, we will be there.
While Dr. Slag PhD's plan grew to full term, so did I. And while the good people of Tromaville prepared for the rebirth of the campus and reactor, my parents prepared for the birth of me. Then finally, the happy day arrived. Tromaville Hospital had the finest, most sophisticated staff, the finest, most sophisticated equipment, and the finest, most sophisticated patients. The facility's all-inclusive services covered the entire medical spectrum, from treatment of restricting underwear
I can't stop watching low-budget badass movies!
to the removal of tattoos from toes. Following the example of the Tromaville Diner, the Tromaville Hospital offered an early birth special. So as the birth contractions came, Mom and Pop drove to the hospital extra fast because they only paid half price if they got there before 6 o'clock.
Fetal monitor.
Normal.
Pulse rate.
Normal.
How much is she dilated?
She's dilated 3 feet.
This was the first time ever that natural childbirth techniques were used to deliver a subhumanoid. As with all subhumanoid births, this one would occur through the extra set of lips in the belly, which are unique to the subhumanoids. The Nukamama corporate gang soon arrived on the scene. One positive side effect of Professor Holt's experiments was the rapid regrowth of her astounding hair due to her exposure to toxic growth hormones.
Out. Out. Out, in. Out. Out. Not listening.
Now, Victoria, take it easy. You're doing fine.
In, out. Just like they practice.
Is this where Victoria, the last subhumanoid, is giving birth to her human husband's child?
No, this is the podiatric ward. I believe you're looking for the pediatric ward.
The birthing was a textbook case.
Someone help me. Roger. I'm not animal.
The incredible beauty of subhumanoid birth overwhelmed Dad, and he did his best not to throw up. While he was in the waiting room composing himself, the Nukamama corporate gang was closing in. The gang entered the delivery room and waylaid the nurses.
Is that you? Roger!
and came back in high-tech, sophisticated disguises.
Oh no, not the novelty nose! Roger, help me! Oh no, not the novelty beard! Oh no, not the novelty squirting flower and eye patch! Oh no, I'm pushing, it's coming! Ah!
Oh my God, look at the size of that umbilical cord. Cut it!
Stop, you idiot! That's no umbilical cord! The baby's a boy!
Everything's going exactly as I planned. Now we have the power source.
My father did not know that the evil Dr. Slag, PhD, was stealing his precious baby. The hospital went about its normal business. Nobody knew that a baby was being stolen.
Doctor, can I try a little bit?
No, that's later, that's later.
My father went back into the delivery room, and as is typically the case, the highly paid obstetricians were nowhere to be found. Suddenly, my father had a warm, glowing, powerful feeling that this was going to be a special birth. It was a proud moment. Since Mom was giving birth, Dad did what came naturally. He stuck in his hand and pulled out a beautiful, well-mannered, charming, good-natured, healthy, positively motivated, versatile baby boy, who was also a good dancer. Me!
Why, you yellow grizzly, that sucker! Oh, I can't believe you did this to me!
Pop was so proud. He did not suspect for a minute that twins had been born, or that one had been stolen.
Her pulse rate is dropping!
Then tragedy struck. Cardiac arrest.
Clear! Clear!
Mom expired on the bed, her body already growing cold. Dad was devastated at Victoria and never knew that she had given him not one but two sons. Nobody knew that there were subhumanoid twins. And so, the bad guys transport their baby to their hideout in the nuclear power plant to be reared in evil ways, oblivious to the fact that there was another twin.
Come on. Get up. Come on, boy.
Coochie, coochie, coo.
And the good guy transported his baby to Tromaville to be reared by the forces of goodness and kindness. My dad was also oblivious to the fact that there was another twin.